Some of the biggest new-gen anime, Boruto and Black Clover, had massive issues that ultimately led to their downfall. But here's the thing, it wasn't because of bad writing, the creators, or even the manga itself. The real problem? The anime studio in charge of their adaptations, Studio Pierrot. Now, before anyone thinks this is just me hating on the studio, let me clarify. This isn't about bashing Pierrot for no reason, but we have to talk about the major mistakes they made that ended up hurting these two series. From poor animation quality to an overload of filler episodes, Pierrot really fumbled what could have been two modern masterpieces. But before we dive deeper into this, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on more anime discussions. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Back in the early 2000s, most anime followed a weekly release schedule. We're talking Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail, and more. And during that time, Studio Pierrot had one of their biggest hits airing, Naruto. At its peak, Naruto became one of the most popular anime of its era, making it Pierrot's top priority. Because of that, they put a lot of effort into animating it, which is why, even by early 2000 standards, Naruto had decent animation quality. Fast forward to 2004, and Pierrot secured another major hit, Bleach. Just like Naruto, Bleach exploded in popularity, especially in the West. With both Naruto and Bleach airing weekly, things were going great for the studio. But here's where the problem starts. The biggest issue with weekly anime is that they can catch up to the manga way too fast. Like when that happens, the anime has no choice but to either go on hiatus, which most studios avoid because of money, or pump out filler episodes to stall for time. And guess what Pierrot chose? Yep, fillers, fillers, and more fillers. So what did Studio Pierrot do to keep up with the demands of weekly anime? They started adding long-running filler arcs to buy time. Surprisingly, this worked out okay for Naruto. Sure, people complained about fillers, but the series was so beloved that fans stuck around. But when it came to Bleach, things were different. The excessive filler arcs led to a decline in viewership, and to make matters worse, Bleach's creator, Tite Kubo, was struggling with serious health issues at the time. As a result, Bleach was put on indefinite hiatus, leaving Pierrot without one of its biggest cash cows. At that point, Pierrot had Naruto still running, and another seasonal anime, Tokyo Ghoul, but let's be real, we all know how badly the Tokyo Ghoul anime adaptation turned out. It completely butchered the manga's story, leaving fans frustrated. For years, Naruto was basically carrying Studio Pierrot, but then came March 2017, the end of Naruto Shippuden. And with Naruto gone, Pierrot didn't have another major anime to fill that massive void. So what did they do? They rushed the adaptation of Boruto, the sequel to Naruto, in the same year Naruto ended. But here's the problem, Boruto was a monthly manga with only 11 chapters out at the time. There simply wasn't enough source material to adapt, but Pierrot figured, hey, people love Naruto, so they'll embrace Boruto the same way, even if we add fillers just like before. Because the manga didn't have enough content, Pierrot had to stretch the adaptation as much as possible. Their solution? Adapting the Boruto light novels, which wasn't a bad idea on its own. Except they added tons of unnecessary filler scenes that dragged out the story, making it feel slow and boring. Yet, despite all these issues, the Boruto anime still performs extremely well. In fact, it's consistently in the top 2 most profitable anime on TV Tokyo, even surpassing massive franchises like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Later that same year, Studio Pierrot released yet another next-gen anime, Black Clover. As a weekly anime, Black Clover quickly gained popularity in the anime community. The story, the main character, the power system, everything about it clicked with fans. It was a massive hit. In fact, the anime adaptation boosted Black Clover's manga sales significantly, with over 4.8 million copies in circulation in the same year the anime debuted. Just like they did with Naruto and Bleach, Pierrot started airing Boruto and Black Clover on a weekly schedule, but here's the problem. Boruto quickly caught up to the manga, leaving the studio with nothing to adapt. Their solution? Stretching the story by adapting the Boruto light novels and adding unnecessary filler scenes. Meanwhile, Black Clover was still doing well, but both series suffered from a common issue: inconsistent animation quality and too many fillers. The reason? Overworked animators trying to keep up with 2 weekly anime productions at the same time. Eventually, Black Clover was put on hiatus at episode 170 because it caught up to the manga. By this time, most anime studios had already shifted to a seasonal format, which was honestly a brilliant move. With seasonal anime, studios had more time to wait for new manga chapters, better pacing, and most importantly, higher quality animation. But Studio Pierrot, they refused to adapt to this trend, at least not at first. Surprisingly, this scheduling issue didn't hurt Black Clover that much. Sure, some episodes had rough animation, but the series still maintained a strong fan base, and however, Pierrot eventually realized that the weekly format was hurting their production quality. So they finally decided to experiment with the seasonal format, and what better way to do it than with the comeback of one of their most iconic series. That's right, Bleach 1000-Year Blood War, and this time, they absolutely nailed it. The animation, the pacing, the fight sequences, everything was next level. Bleach, TYBW proved one thing: when given enough time, Studio Pierrot's animators can produce something truly amazing. In 2024, the CEO of Studio Pierrot made a major announcement. They want to focus on producing high-quality anime like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer, and after the massive success of Bleach 1000-Year Blood War, they finally decided to fully embrace the seasonal release format. This is a fantastic decision. Not only will it improve overall animation quality, but it could also fix many of the issues that plagued Boruto. One of the biggest complaints about Boruto was its filler episodes, bad pacing, and inconsistent animation, all of which made it unwatchable for a lot of fans. Let's be real, most people don't want to sit through filler arcs with bad animation, but here's the thing. If Pierrot had just waited a little longer before adapting Boruto into an anime, they wouldn't have had this problem. The Boruto manga itself is amazing, and the time skip arc is even better. That's why I fully support the decision to put Boruto on hiatus. If they return with a seasonal format and wait until there's enough manga content, Boruto could finally get the high-quality adaptation it deserves. Unlike Boruto, I don't think Black Clover's main issue was the weekly format. The real problem? The hiatus. Black Clover has been off the air for years, even though it arguably has enough source material for at least 2 new seasons. Now, I get that the manga was on hold for a bit due to the author's health issues, which is understandable, but let's not pretend like one of the best plot twists in manga isn't just sitting there waiting to be adapted. If Studio Pierrot really sat down and planned things out carefully, they could bring Black Clover back in a big way. The problem is that unlike Boruto, which is still relevant thanks to the manga, Black Clover is losing momentum because of how long the anime has been on hiatus. If they don't act soon, the hype might completely fade away. And just to be clear, I'm not hating on these series at all. I love both Boruto and Black Clover, but I genuinely believe that Studio Pierrot's poor scheduling choices led to the decline of their anime adaptations. Hopefully, with this new seasonal release format, they can fix these mistakes moving forward. Studio Pierrot seems to be learning from their mistakes. They've teased their upcoming lineup for this year, and while Boruto or Black Clover might make the cut, I'm rooting for Black Clover to take priority. Why? Because it's got plenty of manga material ready to go. Enough for at least 2 killer seasons. Imagine finally seeing those insane plot twists animated with the care they deserve. Meanwhile, Boruto's manga is cooking up something big with the 2 Blue Vortex time skip and the Shinju arc. Let that story breathe. If they adapt it too soon, we'll just get filler soup again, and nobody wants that. Patience is key here. Let Black Clover return with a bang. Give Boruto's manga time to finish its current arc, and then tackle it with the seasonal format that made Bleach TYBW a hit. Studio Pierrot's got the talent, they just need to trust the process and the source material. What do you all think? Should Black Clover jump back into the spotlight first, or is Boruto's time skip too hype to wait? Drop your thoughts below, and fingers crossed the studio nails this comeback.